A fun fact: for the first time ever in the round of 16, there are more Asian teams than South American teams ever in the World Cup.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think that shows
Yeah,
the progress. That shows progress of Asian football. Should be happy about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yep.
But I just on that topic, I just want to open. I just want to know your thoughts. What is spurring this change? Where is this coming from? Is it more like a luck? I mean, is this a serendipity, or is there a process behind it? Is there a scientific reason why more of such teams are coming in and qualifying to the next rounds?
Problem with the European teams is that the players don't really play together. The top teams I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And if you remember the most successful Barca squads have coincided with the most successful Spanish squads. If you
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
Netherlands, the most successful Dutch squads have coincided with the most successful Ajax squads. So
Right.
so that kind of, according to me, has a huge influence. And we've all known the golden generation of English football failing miserably.
Hmm.
And they've been in the English legends who've come and said that we didn't like to play together. United players didn't want to play with Liverpool players. Gerrard didn't like Lampard didn't like playing with Scholes. So those
Hmm.
issues were there. So I think, I'm not saying that it's the club football which is to be blamed, but it's just the fact that the more the players come from different coaching schools of thoughts through the club football, the more difficult it gets for them to perform at the global level. Because if you look at Brazil, if you look at Latin American countries, every World Cup gives us one
Hmm.
unknown star from Latin America, whether it's James Rodriguez or whether it's any
Rodriguez.
even Roberto Firmino for that matter.
Hmm. Hmm.
People didn't know them. They came, they played in their domestic leagues, they played together, they had the camaraderie, they played well in the World Cup, and then made their career switches to Europe. So I think the,
Hmm.
the success of a national team hugely revolves around having a streamlined coaching and a streamlined philosophy when it comes to football on the pitch. And that's where I think the European teams are failing quite significantly now.
I just want to add something to
Yeah. Please.
Satik's point before I touch on to this
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's the fact that grassroots football have it has improved on a drastic scale in Asia, like especially Japan and Korea, and which is clearly evident in their progress. You should the technical ability that these players, that even the players that play in their respective domestic leagues, the technical ability that these guys are showing are just impressive. Like you're seeing players from Korea and Japan press players from
Hmm.
European nations like man to
Yeah.
man, pressing and they do it in a very organized, systematic, in a very cohesive manner as well. And I
Yeah.
think the fact that the use of data analytics, which has increased a lot, is helping the players as well. And moreover, many of these players are in Korea and Japan. They're playing in Europe, especially the Premier League, so which increases the exposure of them to massive pressure situations, which in previous years, if you see, probably the most famous Japanese player was Keisuke Honda, who used to play for AC Milan, but in a very subpar AC Milan team.
Right.
And even Korea, he just they had Park Ji Sung, and that was it. They didn't have any other players, but now they have Heung Min Song, they have Kim Min Jae, they have Hwang Hee Chan. They all play in like a very good team in and in a very good league. So
Right.
I think that played a massive role as well.
Yeah, good
And
that you
yeah,
talked about pressing, because I think the when I saw the match with Spain, I think the first goal from Japan side was a result of that pressing, right?
of that press,
Yeah,
yes, that
yeah,
turnover
yeah,
came somewhere in there,
yeah.
through the attacking third,
Sort of any thoughts on this? Any thoughts on why these smaller teams are coming up?
Apart from what Ashwin and Satvik said, I think I would agree to both of them because I think it becomes very important that whenever you are playing with your own country teammates, gives you a sense of connection and it gives you more sense of understanding. As Satvik mentioned initially that like most of the Barca squad that was there, it made it to Spanish squad. and as for Ajax also it made it to Netherlands squad. So I think it is important that the gelling that happens in Asian teams, and maybe because that most of them play together at one particular place, and not a lot of players which go into different leagues at different places. So they have that more bonding together, and they have more time together to play together, and that's what has caused them to achieve greater heights. And also that they have this like smaller teams like and for that matter, this is the first time, or like this is the record number of teams, that Asian teams that have qualified this time for Qatar World Cup. So I think six teams qualified from AFC region, and this is the
Right.
highest that any World Cup any Asian teams have qualified. So I think it is important that to have that feeling of togetherness. And I think since now that more and more teams are being involved, and more and more teams have now gotten into the fray. So that's why I think like smaller teams from AFC region are doing well. Like to have that bonding with each other and to play with each other gives you a lot of sense of confidence to play at a stage like World Cup. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it all started with Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, and the whole reaction, social media reaction to it was so crazy. Yeah, they were roasting Messi, they were roasting Argentina. There was a lot of, because there's a huge fan following back in Kerala on for Argentina. Trolls all around, right?
Fun fact, like when I was in Qatar, this little like Saudi kid, he was probably 5, 6 years old, just ran up to me and he asked me like, "Where's Messi?" Like, I was like literally like taken back.
So that's the thing, right? That where is Messi? That dialogue is trending in a lot of
Yeah.
places, right? Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
That I really would want to add here. When you see Asian teams, and technically or tactically, the coaches also tell you when you're playing against a bigger team that you need to sit back and
Hmm.
defend and
Yeah.
hope to break the teams on the counter. But now, since say like past 5 7 years or maybe more than that,
Hmm.
the teams which are say smaller on paper, or let's say the Asian teams which we are talking about, they are starting to work more on the technicality of the football, and they're starting to keep more possession, and starting to be on the ball more, and move the ball, and not wait for the opposition to attack, and then play on the counter. So now the confidence has increased, and and the credit goes to the team, and the credit goes to the management staff, and the training which might be happening inside the training arena, that they are doing this. Because in this World Cup also, I've seen I think it was the Saudi Arabia match which Ashwin was talking about right now. The second half was completely different from the first half against Argentina, because
Right.
maybe the pep talk work which is now circulating
Yeah.
on the social media also. But
That.
then still, I don't think only the pep talk works. I think on the field also you need to show some confidence and courage. So I
Right.
think that's what has happened with the passage of time, that Asian teams have started to show more courage, and they've started to believe in themselves, which I think was missing in same earlier part of the decade. But yes, like slowly, all these things are coming into them, and I think that will only help football at a larger level.